Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the quick update over at the Donetsk Front. So at the Donetsk front, over at the Voleda region, yesterday we have reported that there is fighting at Pavlivka and Voleda, and in the latest piece of information we get is that the Russians have actually captured the southern half of Pavlivka already, and they are currently still fighting to try to capture the entire Pavlivka. There are rumors coming from some other pro-Russian sources. This is from Russisch army. They said that Pavlivka is already cleared by the Russian forces and is now under control of the Russian forces. I put it at a question mark because I think it's premature. I don't think that is likely to be the case. And the Ukrainians are currently reinforcing Yevlenka as well as at Preshestivka. And with this reinforcement of Preshestivka, as per reported by the pro-Russian source Ryba, which means that the Ukrainians actually have control over Preshestivka. And the Ukrainians also did not give up as they continue to send forces into Pavlivka to try to block and continue to fight on. And they also sent in DRG, Deep Reconnaissance Group, to the rear of the Russian forces at Yehorivka, just south of Pavlivka. But this is reported by Ryba, which means that these people are actually contacted and actually fought the Russian forces. The more informations have came out from the Russian Defense Ministry about the fighting, as per reported yesterday. The Ukrainians actually did whatever they could, to try to defend the attack over the Voleda region, and as a result, Ukrainian Sukhoi 25 was shot down over Mikhailsky. And on top of that, there is also a helicopter, Ukrainian Mi-8, that was shot down over Konstantinivka. And apparently, according to the Russian Defense, no, it's not Russian Defense Ministry, but the information coming out from pro-Russian source Ryba, the fighting actually was even more than just Voleda. The Russian forces actually expanded the offensive just south of Novomykhailivka, and they actually, this entire area stretching all the way to Volodymyrivka, and they actually did a massive frontal offensive towards the direction of Vodian. And there is fighting reported at Volodymyrivka, and this is actually I put the wrong color, but this is supposed to be red. This is actually reported by the Russian Defense Ministry that they actually conducted an offensive. This is something that is pretty rare because the Russians almost never talk about their offensives, and the Russian Defense Ministry actually reported about this as the revelation that it's actually not just Voleda, but it's actually a much bigger front that was actually part of this major offensive. And according to the mapping of Ryba, we can the front line, according to the Russian side, is actually all the way stretching along. You can see that it's almost following the contour of the roads, and they have captured certain high grounds which I cannot find. According to Ryba, they say that they captured some high grounds, but it looks incredibly flat to me. So not exactly sure what high ground they are talking about. Maybe it's just this forest here, not exactly very high, and there's fighting of reported at Novomykhailivka. According to the Russian sources, the pro-Russian source Ryba, they said that now the Russian forces is moving towards Vodian. And the significance of this is that the Russians are trying to attack and capture Vodian, and this will actually cut off, physically cut off the entire reinforcement route all the way from the north and to the northeast and to Voleda. So Voleda is this fortress that I've mentioned previously, where it is all high-rise building, and this makes it look like a massive castle complex, making it extremely difficult because it's high-rise, and given the land here is like super duper flat. Basically, from the buildings you can actually oversee the entire region. So without the capture of Voleda, the Russian forces cannot really capture all these places. But the Russians do not want to fight in Voleda, so which is why they are capturing Vodian and force a mass retreat from the Ukrainians away from Voleda to avoid being encircled. So according to Russian sources, they say that the capturing of Pavlivka alone is pointless if they do not capture Voleda. So the Russians is definitely going to try to encircle Voleda, or at least threaten to surround Voleda and force the Ukrainians to actually withdraw from this region. The reinforcement at Yevlenka as well as Preshestivka could be a sign where the Ukrainians are trying to reinforce a new defense line in the event that they actually lose control of Vodian and Voleda. So anyway, this is just a quick update over at this Donetsk Front. Particularly, it's actually in the southwest side of Donetsk city. So this is Donetsk city and southwest side of Donetsk city. Anyway, I'll see you in the... remember to press the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next update.